an hour on a Sunday to pay per hour payment under the Joint Labour Committees when you're factoring PRSI payment and all the...
Take us through what you do have to pay. If you're a restaurant opening up on a Sunday and you're paying worker X, what do you have to pay them that's different from, say, on a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
Okay, the minimum wage in Ireland is $8.65. We have to pay by law an 8% premium on top of that of $9.32 at a flat rate across 6 days a week. On a Sunday, you have to pay a 33% premium on top of the $9.32, which will bring it up to $12.40, and on top of that, then you pay your PRSI and your levies on top of that, so they bring it up to nearly €18 an hour by the time you hire somebody on a Sunday. So what we're saying is we're not attacking existing workers and existing workers' wages. What we're saying is any new employees coming into this market, we want to bring them in at a flat rate that will create jobs, make it more economically viable for businesses to hire new people. And businesses have said we're willing to take on at least 4,000 jobs in our sector, jobs that taking people off the live register at 450,000 people on it at the moment, and not just our sector. The retailers are saying that they want to do that also. So we want to create jobs, but we want Minister Bruton to go ahead with the reforms. The IMF came into town on the 28th of November last year. They clearly identified that these JLCs should be scrapped. The government said they wanted to reform them, so let's get on and get them reformed.
Okay, just very briefly, what rate then do you want to pay these new employees you're bringing in?
If you're talking about a new employee coming in that has no experience at all in the industry that's coming in, we should be able to pay them at the minimum wage levels. Now, the level of workers that are being paid at minimum wage levels are about 4% in this country, and the minimum rates of pay in our sector is 8% above that. So what we're saying is any new employees, determine on their experience that we can pay them at the minimum wage levels, and let's try and get our industry at a competitive basis compared to the north of the border. Their wage levels are 28% lower than ours. In Europe, the levels in Spain is about 54% lower than Ireland. So if we want to try and make ourselves more competitive on a European stage and attract investment into this country and attract tourists into this country, we have to address our wage. I
want to give the last words to Bernie. Bernie, are you reassured what Adrian Cummins had to say?
Not at all. No, in fact, the fear out there is that the changes will actually displace current workers to be replaced in the so-called new jobs, if you understand what I mean.
Your fear is that existing employees will be forced out by cheaper employees.
And so the so-called new jobs will just be replacing original workers.
Okay. We'll have to leave it there. I think this is something we're going to hear a lot more about, although it looks like the government is going to defer key decisions on this until the autumn. But in the meantime, my thanks to Bernie, a restaurant worker in a Dublin restaurant, and also the CEO of the Restaurant Association of Ireland, Adrian Cummins.
And we heard that today the Minister for Social Protection, Joan Burton, is bringing proposals to the Cabinet, or I suppose data to the Cabinet, that'll show that if the JLCs are scrapped and people change bands and maybe fall into other social welfare categories, what it will actually cost her department. So definitely it's one that the government is quite openly different on.
Divided, I think is the word. I think Fine Gael are very keen that this happens, Labour less so, but the big thing is it's part of our deal with the so-called Troika, and I don't think they're going to be too pleased unless the government actually deliver on it.
Okay, after 8